So my name is Steve Cizik, and I am of counsel for the tax division at the Harris Law Firm. So tax law is interesting because it pertains to pretty much every aspect of the law. So whether that's family law, for example, or for estate practice, it's not only just fighting with IRS collections and audit agents. There are different nuances with tax and contract law. And we address all of it. Essentially looking at financial information is a big deal when it comes to like family law when you're talking about assets and things. And so reviewing tax returns is actually a really good way to determine where people's assets are. So tax law actually has a broad application to most, if not all, forms of the law, and we find a way to not only utilize that for our clients, but then also we do battle the IRS, daily in the state when it comes to protecting our clients' assets, protecting businesses, as far as keeping them operational, ensuring that employees get paid, and ensuring that at the end of the day, the IRS is less of a detriment, and we can put them to the side so that our clients can be successful with whether that's their businesses or their lives or their trust accounts or their divorce or whatever that might be. Estate planning is very similar in that it's complicated, and we do have a great division here at Harris as well that I work with. Trusts for protection of assets have really good benefits for, protections from liabilities, but maybe not so much with respect to taxation. When we're talking about estate planning, there's always a taxation element as to generation skipping taxes. How can I set this up so that my estate can be passed on without getting crushed by, the government taxes, which is a huge part of estate planning. And then there's various levels of complexity that come along with that. And sometimes, an estate plan might say, well, this is good, but we don't want to do this because of these taxation disadvantages. But then I might say, well, the taxation disadvantages are not as significant as the potential civil exposure, or maybe you're okay to pay that liability because your children will have a much smoother transition, through the estate. So, those are certainly things that having a tax attorney to look at it from, my perspective as opposed to just an estate perspective or a family law perspective kind of gives that, the three-legged chairs to try to figure out what's best for our clients.